Well, with my license and my liability, I'm allowed to electrically engineer something up to 800 amps, three-phase. So there's been plenty of times that, like hair salons, nail salons, saving if they're gonna give me the job, I could save them $5,000 in engineering fees. I'm bidding the job anyway, so it's not really that big deal to put that math together, actually, because with my math, I can actually get them through permitting and tell the county, well, this is the amount of equipment that they're using, this is the size service they need, this is what I suggest, it'll be up to it'll be under 800 amps, and this is correct. And there's a house. Although I only brought one set of prints. I'll show you. Why don't we all come over here and gather around this table? Okay, now this is a house, and an engineer likes to do everything cheap as possible and use templates. So all this stuff is basically a reference. All they need to know really is the can lights. There's going to be so many can lights in the kitchen. There's a light going here, a fan going here. Anytime that any potential, like a light here, I'll use a fan rated box. And what that means is you can just use a plastic box to hang a light, or you can put a fan rated box that's mounted to a stud, or it has a bracket across the studs that actually support the weight of a fan. So if I know that they could potentially put a fan there, it's not that much more money, I'll go ahead and put a fan rated box in everywhere that they could possibly put a fan. So, and what we like to do is, you can see these can lights, but in the end result, what I'd like to do is wait until all the equipment is in, wait until the counters are in, wait till everything is in, and come back and actually cut the can lights in after, according to the spacing of the kitchen, to the spacing so it matches everything perfect.
Just in case they decide to tweak something one way or the other.
Well, it makes a difference in the end product, because if you're looking at the stuff, because people look at symmetrical, they don't look at, oh, what's the lighting doing? They look at like, oh, this light is not exactly center in my cabinet. This light, and plus especially, things like this, I would probably add another can light. Well, you can see there's a can light right there over the center of this sink. Well, this much can make a huge difference, especially if you're a homeowner. You're going through the punch list, the next thing you know, we put the can light where the contractor laid it out, but the can light's off, it looks like a schmuck. You know what I mean? Even here in the entryway, I put a fan rated box in. Plus, you see here, the meter's on this side of the corner over here. The first thing we gotta do is get with the utilities and find out where they want the meter, because they say where the meter goes. Then we gotta decide if we're gonna run a conduit underground to this panel, or are we gonna put the cable in the attic and come over and go down, which I prefer, because that means we only gotta go there one time and hope that the guy that puts this wall in is not gonna miss and put our little pipe out of the wall, which wastes our time anyways.
You said you prefer.
Anything that anything that has a closet or shows any idea that it's possible to sleep in that room has to have a smoke detector. Inside, see the smoke detector, SD smoke detector. Inside the room and out, it's got it within 6 foot of each bedroom door. We like to put them within 3 foot if possible. But you can see, like, got a bedroom here, bedroom here, bedroom here. See, smoke detector, smoke detector. Smoke detector, smoke detector. It's gotta be inside, and right outside. See that symbol right there? What does that say? Phone outlet. Look at that symbol, in the shower. What that is the shower head. You walk in the door, give me a door here, give me a switch. You definitely don't want to put the switches behind the swing of the door, because it's kind of stupid. You want to be able to walk into the door and hit the switch. And there's that. In every kitchen, you got to have 5 circuits. Dishwasher, garbage disposal, refrigerator, microwave, and 2 appliance circuits. And that's code. You gotta have the 5 circuits. Because now, back in the day when they built houses, especially in the 80s, these ones, especially over kind of in this area, they didn't have the monster microwaves that they used to have. So that's that. You have to have a laundry circuit, which is the washer. Then you got the dryer, which is another 220, which is basically 30 amps on the dryer. And then, see that here, anything within 3 foot of water, that's the sink, has to be GFI protected. If a countertop has 12 inches or more of an overhang, you don't have to have an outlet on the wall there, down there. But if it has less, you have to have an outlet here, because people can plug things in. But if it's gonna have more than 12 inches, the county doesn't want that, because they don't want them plugging stuff, and hanging over the lip to plug stuff in. They don't, it's illegal to have the outlet there. And these are things you gotta find out. You gotta, hey man, where's the cabinet specs? Oh, the homeowner's buying them. Oh, well, that's gonna take forever to know that, it's gonna be there. Arc fault breaker is, but it's a breaker with, it's almost like a does anybody know what a GFI breaker is?
Ground fault.
Yeah, it's that ground fault circuit interrupter. That's what actually ground fault circuit interrupter. GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, yes. But it's an arc fault, which is kind of the same thing, but if there's any type of a ground or a short, it trips. They came out with that a couple years ago. It's gotta be in every bedroom, the dining room, the kitchen, the hallway, the kitchen, the hallway, closets, the lanai, the porch, in any like such area, living room. The problem that they're having is, sometimes the vacuum motors trip these breakers. So, but by code, you gotta have that, you gotta be sure. The thing is, you can't mix those circuits up, because it'll trip, the neutral will trip that breaker. Because it's that neutral, remember that neutral's, that means one wire to the breaker with its own neutral coming over to here, so that arc fault breaker's for that room. Then you gotta have one for here, and you gotta have one for here. Houses are a pain in the butt, and I also brought a commercial one. This is the 3-story storage facility, rolling storage units. And the very first thing that we want to know, one-line riser diagram. Does anybody know what a riser diagram is? Well, I'm about to show you. To know where the beginning of a job starts, basically what happens is you go to a company, especially in commercial, and they say to you, here's a set of prints, and this is your job, please do it. And then you're taking material lists and stuff off this job, but you have to remember, somebody already bid at that job. So you really can't make mistakes other than making mistakes. You know what I mean? Compared to missing something on the print, being the one that's actually estimating the job, looking at little things like, what are these lights? How many are there? How are they being fed? You got an A light, which is just a standard, actually these were just standard LED lights on a motion sensor, stand outside of each room, outside of each storage area in the hallway. So when you walk up, each one turns on individually. This one's an A&E, emergency. That one's got an emergency ballast. So if the power goes out, the ballast turns the light on, and there's a few of them. So you gotta think, this is a 3-story storage facility. You gotta be sure you get the count of every light. You miss one, these lights sometimes could be $250 a piece. You miss 3, oops, well, there goes that money out of your profit. These lights could take 4 to 6 weeks to get. And then, of course, you're not gonna be even thinking about that stuff until it comes time to pull those lights out of the trailer at the last minute, when you're trying to get those lights in. Power riser diagram. This is the main service. This is what they need, this is the demand of the job, what they're asking you to provide. This is the main panel, which is not a panel. It's called the MDP, main distribution panel, which basically, that's a 1600 amp main feeding each panel. It's basically telling you, it's not giving you it's not, if you look at the prints, which we'll go back and I'll show you where the panels are. But you see here, first floor, it's telling you, coming out of here, panel PO. And you go over here. Note 1, branch panel boards see panel schedules for requirements. Note 2, label panel boards and designs to show. Okay, it's just telling you what they want. But these notes here tells you what size pipe this is, what size breaker it's gonna be, and what size wire you need to pull in. Panel 1A. It's 225 amp main panel. The voltage is 208 and it's a 3-phase panel. It tells you it needs what size wire, which is a 4-aught copper wire. Tells you what size neutral, because sometimes you're allowed to downsize a neutral if it's a longer run. But I don't like to do that, and apparently they didn't do that. So it's the same size as the feeder, so, and it tells you it needs to be a 2.5-inch conduit. Panel 1A on the first floor. Panel 1A, and you can see here, it tells you all the stuff that this panel 1A is feeding. Store lights, store lights, store lights. And it tells you right here, each circuit breaker that you need, SCB, circuit breaker. The amount of poles. A dryer would be a 2-pole breaker because it's 220. And you have to count we gotta be sure, that's another thing, we have to be sure that we count every individual breaker that we need. So when we say, hey, we need a 225 amp, main lug only. That means main lug only means there is no main breaker on that panel, because in the main distribution panel, there is a main breaker. And the MDP, that's the gear inside the room. So what happens is, from the transformer outside, it comes in underground and it comes in and feeds this main piece of gear, the main distribution panel. And each one has you can see here, it's got a 225 amp main breaker, 3-phase for panel 1A. That feeds that one. There's your main breaker. So it doesn't need a main breaker, technically. And each one already had, because don't forget, it doesn't have a main breaker, it just goes on right to the main lug, but it has the individual breakers feeding everything else. So you don't need a main breaker protecting that panel, because you still have the individual breakers feeding that and protecting itself. Yeah, there was a lot of RFIs on this job. What an RFI is it's a sheet, request for information. Basically, you're sending them at the beginning of the job, before you even bid this job, you have to get all this information. Like,
And the county keeps a copy of these blueprints?
well, you can see right here? That's a copy of the stamped set. Once the final architect and the engineer, and the architect, well, what happens is, okay, let's downsize it. For instance, like I said, I can design it myself. We don't need this guy to stamp it. I'm that guy. We did a nail salon off 54 in the Boot Ranch area. Where was that? You know what I mean? On 54 on Little Road over there.
Trinity?
Trinity. So, and I go to the guy and I'm like, okay, so you want this area here to be nails for do pedicures, those chairs with the water, right? Oh, there's gonna be 6 of them. Okay, well, each one of these have to have its own GFI outlet, right? Okay, so now, just that alone, the plumber comes in and says, oh, I gotta plumb each one of these, and this is a circuit, this is a circuit, this is a circuit, this is a circuit. Oh, you want a pendant light over here? Okay. You guys know what a pendant light is? Anything that hangs. Anything that hangs off a pendant. A chandelier is considered a pendant. Okay? Or you want a can light, so we need a can light. Oh, so you want to walk in over here and you want to have a 3-way switch, and you want to walk in over here and have a switch over here. So you can control these lights from both sides. And you want a dimmer? Okay. Oh, so you want an individual switch for each one on this wall over here. So you can, as the nail tech comes over and says, okay, so little by little, and that's how it starts. And you're like, okay, over here. Oh, so now you want to do manicures over here. So you want to have a station. So how are we going to do this? Are we going to waste space? So what we did is, we figured out, how are we going to do it? Oh, I want to have 2 stations in one. Okay, so we put a little wall here, and we put a station here. and a station here. The person sits here, and we sit here. But now, you ever go to a nail salon and it stinks so bad you can't even barely breathe? By code now, that each station has to have its own, you run a little AC, like a dryer AC duct, right down this big divider wall. So each station has its own ventilation that goes up into a roof fan. And by code, there has to be a main fan, exhaust fan. Each one of those things run up to the main exhaust fan. And by code, lights on, exhaust fan on. Which means, so I have to have a contactor. So when the light turns on, it turns on the exhaust fans. What are you gonna have on each little thing? So here comes the customer's here, and that person's here, and there's a wall here, and there's two people here. So it's a station about this big, right? Two nail techs, two customers. What's the nail tech gonna have? They're gonna have a UV light, they're gonna have a little thing, right? Maybe a little phone charger thingy, and a little air dryer thing. Show me what you're gonna have. Okay, well, I literally need the specifications for each one. Well, that's gonna be, 0.7 amps on that, 0.3 amps on that. Okay, so that means that one circuit will support each station. 1 circuit, 2 circuit, 3 circuit, 4 circuit, 5 circuit, 6 circuit, 7 circuit, 8 circuit, 9 circuit, 10 circuit, 11 circuit, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's how it starts. And then we're gonna have the break room. There's gonna be a microwave, there's gonna be a refrigerator. Oh, you're gonna have this. How much light are we gonna have? Okay, we're gonna have that. How many outlets in the whole place are we gonna have now besides each one? Okay, and then you wanna have that. You wanna have, and then little by little, how are we gonna do it? And then the engineer and the plan designers in there, we're trying to cram as much, into a 5-gallon bucket as possible so guy can get as much bang for his buck. It comes out to a total of 493 amps. Okay, well, I can engineer up to 800 amps, so why would we not go 800? Hello, with Lakuchi, can I have a meeting with you guys out here, so-and-so? Well, we would like to take this suite, we'd like to put an 800 amp three-phase service. Can we do it? And is there gonna be a cost to the customer? Okay, well, what are they gonna do? And they're gonna be like, okay, well, we need a load calc, which means I have to give them a load calculation stating how much of a demand we're gonna use. And they're like, oh, there's gonna be, this is my favorite part. And guess what? Now we're doing the job my way. I already know, I know exactly, there's no secrets. I'm the one that engineered it. I said, this is an outlet right there. AC units. Okay? Now, there has to be an outlet within 50 feet of every unit. So there's only one here. Okay? Because if the guy comes up and he's got to plug his little drill in or hook up his cell phone or whatever, you don't want him running a cord into the main thing over there. You want to have an outlet. Look. Outlet. Okay. All right. So if it doesn't show an outlet, it doesn't matter. You have to have one there because the inspector's not going to give you the final if there's an outlet there. So if you want to be a dumbass, excuse my language, and not know your stuff, you need to know that it has to have an outlet there.
And since it's outside, it's a GFI.
Yes, sir. Weatherproof, weather resistant, GFI. You see what this is? This is the luminaires. This tells the county, like in the parking lot, you have to have so much lighting to be able to say, we have to have enough lighting. It can't be just, I'm gonna put this light up over here. You have to have so much lighting per square foot. Because security reason, lighting fixture schedule, here it is. All right. A, what the heck's an A light? Okay, the manufacturer's Morburn, whatever. That is a 4-foot fluorescent strip, white housing, instant start, which means there's no delay. They want on, they want off. Factory installed integral occupancy sensor, motion sensor. That's what an occupancy sensor is. So each one of these lights turns on as you walk by. You ever see that scene in Batman? When he was walking with Alfred and the lights were coming on and coming off? I did a job like that. It's just very cool.
Or the freezer section in the grocery store. Yeah, Publix has got that.
Yeah, or that. Wire guard. That means they have a guard over them for damage. That little metal cage or whatever. Okay. Guard, 12K. It's a 4000K light tubes, that's the color. Right here, once in a while, it'll say OET, or equal to. Huge. This job, they're like, the engineer and the owners were like, no, you will use the light that I exactly spec'd out. You will use this, whoever this guy is here, Eaton Junko Iki guy for G. What the heck's a G? Because this is what I do. If I'm doing lighting, I don't go to here, I go to here. A. The heck's an A? Oh, that's the thing here, okay? AE. Same as type A above, except with a 1300 lumen emergency battery pack for 90 minutes of illumination. You guys understand what that means? Okay. Where's B? What the heck's a B light? B. Look, there's a B right there. What's a B? Maubourn. 277, 24 watts, 2 lamps, LED, surface on the wall, same type as A above except with no factory installed integral octopus sensor. So that's just a strip light. These are just strip lights, but this doesn't have an octopus sensor. Okay, now you see, because it's not equal to, that means everybody is getting the same thing from these people. Okay, let's just say that this is the site plan and the outside, seen all those lights? Well, these lights are outside. They always go bad. So I order like an extra 6 of them. That way I don't say, hey, Hubble light guy, your Elch 8, there's a 1-year warranty on them, and there's 2 bad already. So I gotta get them here. They have to warranty them. So instead of waiting for this dude, I already have a couple in stock. You know the best protection you can have against lightning? Insurance. You have no protection against lightning. It's, if it hits you. That's why I don't like to sell people false. You guys know what a panel looks like, right? Has anybody in here ever seen a panel with the panel cover off, how the breakers and the wires go on there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a panel. This is a panel cam. Correct? Now you got, the way it works is, the way you click the breakers on, the way you click the breakers on, it's called bus bars, and it's basically, you've got a lug, right? And the wire comes into there. And in 3-phase, or a breaker, but right now this is the main lug. Wire comes in there. And what that is, it's one of those lugs that, you know, this is the set screw, and the wire goes in the hole. The set screw tightens down on top of the wire, correct? Okay. Now the way it works is, it'll go like this. And this is where the breakers click in. So there's phase A, phase B, phase C. And then you'll see the breakers going down the line. And each breaker, you see that it's got 2 rows of breakers, right? You see that? It's 2 rows of breakers. Odds and evens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. These panels in a commercial situation, 3-phase, are 42 circuits. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, blah, 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 right? Odds, evens. So now, the way it works is, A is the color black. B is the color red. C is the color blue. So now, your breakers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23 to 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, $1,000, 26, blah, 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 40. Okay, so now, black, phase A. 1 and 2 comes off phase A. That comes like this, comes like that. Then red. Phase B comes like this, comes like that. Kind of get that? Then blue. And I'm gonna tell you, on a job site, this is stuff, this little mathematical formula I'm about to show you guys is stuff that a lot of these guys have been in the trade for years. They're still like, what? Circuit 32 is what color? And then, of course, phase C comes over and does like this. And then it crosses over and starts over. Crosses over and starts over. Crosses over and starts over. Then it goes black, red, blue.
Repeats.
Yeah. Black, red, blue. Black, red, blue. Black, red, blue. Black, red, blue. 1, black. 2, black. 3, red. 4, red. 6 is blue. Okay. So now, let's do one. Circuit 13. We'll color circuit 13. We got circuit 3. We'll color circuit 3. Circuit 3 is red. We got a circuit 4. We'll color 4. Okay, we got a circuit 6. We'll color circuit 6. We'll color circuit 12. We'll color circuit 18. Black.
I was gonna say, I thought you
Black, red,
skipped
blue.
something.
Yeah, I skipped one. Blue. So what color's 18? Blue. Color's 24. Blue. Every 6. 2, 4, 6. Blue. 8, 10, 12. Blue. 14, 16, 18. Blue. You divide, what color's 112? You divide 6 into any number, and it's nothing left over. It's blue, right? So 6 times 2 divides 6 into 12. There's nothing left over. It's blue, because it's even, right? But if the, whatever's left over, what color's 20? Divide 6 into 20, 2 is left over. What color's 2? Black, right? What color's 130? What, I'm sorry, let's do an easy one. What color's 120? Exactly. Somebody said it. This is what I tell the guys, because there's a math, you know, there's ways to do it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The odd always follows the even. If 1 is black, 2 is black. So what color is circuit 3? Well, 4 is red, so 3 is red, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Black, red, blue. Black, red, blue. Black, red, blue. The way I teach it, like I said, I've taught 1,000,000 people, and I simplified this. 6, 12, 18, 30. What color is 121? If 30 is blue, what color is 60? Black. 121.
The one's left over.
Exactly. Because if 6 is blue, 5 times 6 is what? Was anything left over? Okay, what color is 120?
Blue.
Right, so what color is 121?
Black.
See? 6, 12, 18, 30. Take it to the highest number. So now, here's the thing. This is called a full, basically in the field called a full boat. Black, red, blue, 1 neutral. You can share. Okay, here's the, we're starting to get complicated. Black, red, blue, 1 neutral, right? But If it's 1, 3, 5, one neutral, correct? 1, 3, 7, these two blacks can't be on the same neutral. So now we need two neutrals. So now we gotta pull a black and a red, and a black and with a neutral, and a black with a neutral, for 7 alone. So what happens if I have 2, 4, and 14? I need a neutral for 2 and 4, and black and 14, and 2 are black, so I need a neutral for 14. Can I get that? Now, imagine trying to add up 3 floors of wire. Oh my God. Because you don't want to bring up 500 pipes. You want to put as many circuits into one pipe as you can. So you're like, oh, so here we go, 32, 34. Here's 34, so all these can share. 36. 30's blue, right? Starting over. Black, red, blue. Cool, that's a full. But in a 3/4, you can put 2 sets. 2 blacks, 2 blues, 2 blacks, 2 reds, 2 blues, 2 neutrals, 1 ground. So, there's 1, 36, 38. Is there a 40? But, yeah, that's why it takes a month, because you're sitting there going, wow, this is an 1/8 inch scale, and I got my little wheel, and how big is this thing here? And it's so many feet from the building over here, so I gotta have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3/4, so it's coming from over here, and that's, 200, 300, 400, it's 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet for just the lighting on this area, 1,000 feet for the lighting over this area. And then the outlets, another 1,000 feet. Okay, that's floor 1. And over here, floor 2, it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and it starts to add up, and you're like, wow, how many couplings do I need on 3,000 feet? Divided by 10. Every 10 foot is a coupling. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta have my straps. Let me see, if I put a junction box here, here's a box. That's a connector in a box. Every 3 foot from every connection, plus every 8 feet, right? Because it's exposed, don't want the bow. Here's a strap. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's straps. 5, 6, 7. Oh my God! I'm gonna put junction. Is it a drop ceiling or is it a hard ceiling? Okay. We go to the reflective ceiling plan, which tells you is this going to be a drop ceiling. I'll tell you because I remember the job. It was a drop ceiling. This is a drop ceiling, which means we have to run our conduits because it's exposed. Every box has to have every box has to be accessible, which means I have to be able to open the ceiling tile and be like, oh, there's a junction box right there. You can't just bury a box in a hard lit ceiling. If there's a hard lit ceiling, which means it's all drywall, no junction boxes in the ceiling, it means I gotta drop a box over to first access and whip into each single one and make sure everything is strapped or hard pipe. No junction. Bar napkin to the estimating phase, to the one, to actually figuring out where your storage is going to be, to knowing how to put a job together and how it all works and how to order the lights, and that's that. So it may not seem like much, and I know this may seem interesting and it may seem boring, but if you're on a job and they're like, well, we're going to run a conduit, there's guys like APG. You ever heard of APG Electric? They're huge. They built like Wiregrass Mall and International Mall. You can imagine how much conduit. That's 3 years. These guys, now, I'm the boss, and you're coming in, and I've taught you how to bend pipe. Great. I need you to put me 25 3/4 from there to there. Okay, man, that looks beautiful. What's it for? I don't have a pipe bender on, though. I can run pipe. I've been working with this company for 7 years, and man, I can bend pipe. What else can you do? What color's 32? Huh? Because the wire pulling crew's behind you. This guy's going to pull wire. What color's 32? Black. Great. What's the take up on a 30-degree bend? Huh? All you know how to do is pull wire. See what happens when you get on these big jobs? You do one thing, you're great at it. You're making me money. Great. You're a good pipe bender. You're a good strapper. You're going to strap. 5 years. I can strap the heck out of stuff. I like my guys to know exactly everything. Every little aspect of everything. Where's it going? What's it feeding? Why is it doing it? Why? What's it is? What? Why? 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 What is it? What is it? Why? Why? What's it feeding? You gotta figure an average person, a journeyman electrician, we were figuring it out the other day. You figure a guy, a job runner, my man that ran this job, the van, the cell phone, perks, the stuff, the whatever, the drive time, whatever, that's $70,000 a year that I have to give him, plus taxes and payroll taxes. That's $70,000 a year that I have to make to be able to pay him. Now, if I'm paying him $70,000 a year and he's banging these jobs out, he's doing his job. He's making me per man. That extra profit, that's where you guys gotta come in. You guys gotta think, I'm not gonna just come in and do what I'm told, oh, it's 4 o'clock, see you later. Getting involved, knowing what's going on in the job, knowing, hey man, I know my job. I know that it starts off with, I'm gonna let you do the office. You know that there's 9 lights in here, there's a few lights over here, there's only 1 or 2 circuits, there's a little teeny tiny panel. Cool, I can do all this in 1 3/4 and bend everything in a little bit of width and that's done. Great, good job. Now it's time to do a bigger job. You're not just one of those guys bending pipe and pulling wire, not knowing what the heck you're doing. See you later, guys. I really bent good pipe today. See you later. And that's the problem we have today. My head, my thoughts, my voice is going to be in your head. Why? What is this for? I don't want to just be a pipe runner. I want to be a job runner. I want to know how to start a job. And the most important, how to finish. What's it going to take to get my final inspection? To get into the drainage ditch, not into the septic, right? That's a whole different engineer firm right there. That's a whole different license. Paving, concrete, license. Roofing, license. Plumbing, license. AC, license. There's a lot. The doors and the framing, contractor. Painting,
Well, I think it's amazing that you're willing to give people the big picture, because a lot of times when you ask questions, you're told, oh, we don't pay you to think, just do, you know? And therefore, you're stuck doing either pipe bending forever or whatever, or you're good at that, you stay with that. So I personally think that it's awesome that you're willing to show people like, hey, this is a big plan, this is what we're going for. You know,
well, a lot of these guys, especially coming up in a trade, I worked for that company for a very long time. A lot of your bosses and the supervisors above you, they don't want to teach you.
No,
Why?
they're
Because
intimidated.
they want to hold it back. They don't want you to take their job.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, tomorrow there's an expo in Tampa. My 3rd-year apprentice is going to go and he's got to do some pipe bending thingy. I don't know, he put it together himself. I'm going to go watch him and help him. How fast and how clean and how nice he can bend the pipe. There's going to be all kinds of stuff, which I forgot all about that. That's tomorrow. So tomorrow I get to go to wave around my company bling, and I'm going to run into all those guys I used to work for over those years. Like, hey, how's it going there? Yeah, I'm my own entity now. Remember I used to work for you? I didn't like you then. I still don't like you now.